into unity of Kona. But anyway, let us begin our service this morning by seeing our affirmation for the month, which is, first of all, let me read it and then we'll all read it together. Being thankful is a powerful mindset. I count my blessings every day. I am grateful. Being thankful is a powerful mindset. I count my blessings every day. I am grateful.
The Daily Word, Sunday, November 12th. I am at home wherever I am. And everybody together? I am at home wherever I am. Robert Frost wrote, "Home is a place where when you have to go there, they have to take you in." Only the indwelling presence of the Spirit offers me that dimension of comfort and security. The importance of home is a constant throughout the ministry of Jesus. Followers who have been healed in his presence were often advised to return to their homes so the healing could extend into their human challenges. In the consciousness of my spiritual home, I extend warm acceptance and a sense of homecoming to everyone with whom I interact, no matter where in the world we may be. I appreciate the blessings in my life and the opportunities to bless others. I am at home wherever I am. Go home to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you. Mark 5:19.
But now is the time where we visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. And let's see this heart moving in and around and through each one of us, filling our room with the love and caring, the compassion that we have for ourselves and each other. And we bless our children, Kayla. All this is filling our heart. And we are so grateful to be a part of this unity movement, bringing us together in love and prayer. And so in these moments, if you are in need of prayer, or if you know of anyone in need of prayer, please see them in our heart. And we hold everyone in our world in this loving space as we say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Wonderful, wonderful. And now I do invite you to get comfortable where you are. Close your eyes if that feels right to you. And let us begin our time of centering and prayer by just breathing. Taking a deep breath, that very breath of life that is God. And we hold it for a moment. And then we exhale, relaxing our body, settling into this spiritual unfoldment, this connection to God. Taking another deep breath. And as we exhale this time, we just quiet our mind, calm our emotions, and we allow anything that keeps us from being here to just be set aside right now. And one more deep breath. And exhaling this time, we rest in the consciousness of our heart. Relaxing our breath. just follow your breathing. And easy in, easy out. And each breath allows our heart to open even more. We know there is more than enough love to go around. More than enough healing, peace, understanding to bless ourselves and everyone. Allow yourself to make that connection to the God of your being, right here and right now. In these moments, we affirm this truth. I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of God in me. I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of God in me. And affirm this silently in your mind and in your heart. I am now open and receptive to the living Spirit of God in me. When we focus on that loving presence, we begin to listen, to hear that still small voice within, guiding, directing us, most of all loving us, loving every cell of our being, loving who we are, knowing that we are God's beloved children, here on this earth to do His will and His work. As we relax into a time of quiet prayer, a time of just listening and being still, we hold in our heart, our mind, our body, that loving expression of God is. God is in me, right here and right now, in the silence. And now taking another deep breath. As we exhale, we bring ourselves back to this moment, to this present moment in time. Feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation for all life. For all the good that is in our lives this day and every day. We say thank you, God, for bringing us together in this spirit of truth and blessing us as we bless others this day with gratitude. And so it is. Amen. All right, how's everyone today? Great. And as we begin our service today, I know there's a lot of veterans in our midst, so we want to honor them. We want to honor everyone who has served in any capacity in our military. And so we're going to ask you to stand up and be appreciated by all of us. Look around. A great service that all of you have done for all of us and allowed us to be here. So we appreciate you. more than you know. And our song during the offertory is going to be dedicated to all of you for loving our country and us so much that you served the best way you knew how. Yay. And if you want to say your name and what branch of the Army you were in, it would be great. Ingrid.
Ingrid, U.S. Marine Corps.
Yay. Gandhi. Hey. Carla. Believe it or not, yes.
Larry Sauer, U.S. Army.
Yay. Tom. What?
What branch?
Navy. Yay. Rod.
Rod Sword, 8 Air Force, 2 tours with the United States Air Force.
Yay.
Peters, U.S. Air Force, 23 years.
Yay. We are blessed and very protected. They know what to do in case of an emergency. Thank you, everyone. What a blessing. Oh, very emotional. Very, very emotional. Thank you, thank you. Yes, so my lesson today is how to thrive in our world, especially with technology. How many of you feel that or know that you're techno-savvy? You should be standing up, people, I'm telling you. Yay! Isn't that wonderful? Out of all of us here, there's a couple. How many of you feel like you just think your smartphone is one of those smarter than me phones? Ta-da! A friend of mine told me that once. I've never forgotten it because it's true. And how many of you have grandchildren, age 12, who tell you exactly what to do on anything? Isn't it great? If all else fails, I just text my granddaughter, Kia, how do I do this? She goes, Grandma, it's so simple. That's what she always starts her sentence with. It's so simple or it's so easy. Well, am I technically challenged? Yes, I rely on Larry, and I rely on Patrick, and anyone else who can, Rod, help me in new members class, because there's a part of me that knows how to do it, and then I told them there's a part of me that doesn't want to know any part of it. And that part comes from my mom. She gave me that DNA. She quit working for the state of California when they went computerized. She goes, I'm not going to learn that thing. I know how to type. So the stubbornness of me may possibly come from her. I don't know. So in this world, the way that it is, more and more technology, I swear, no, I don't swear, but every single thing that we purchase now has a big learning curve. Wouldn't you say? I mean, vacuums, coffee makers, all the simple stuff, not to mention the new iPhone 10. I'm like staying away from that like the plague. But it's so great, all the things it'll do for you once you learn how to do them. So I'm just getting used to my current phone, which is only a year old. And now, I'm not just gonna go there. Joe will. He'll get every new gadget. He loves it, right? He does. We have more computers in our house than you would believe. Isn't it hysterical? And I still have one older HP, not that old, that I do a lot of stuff on, and it's not happy with all the Macs around. You know, that sibling rivalry in computer land. But whenever how many of you get frustrated or overwhelmed in this world? I think every hand should go up. It may not last very long, and it may not last as long as it did before. Wouldn't you say? That we're not going to spend a whole day being frustrated or angry or in overwhelm. That is progress. That is great, because you're all great truth students. So Myrtle Fillmore taught us how to go into the stillness. How many of you start your day with a prayer and meditation? Show of hands? That's great, because this is what will help us navigate through all of our daily stuff. And I know personally, when I don't spend much time in the silence, the stillness, or in prayer, it seems like all the things that could go wrong in the day do. And it's sort of like learning to express the truth of who I am and who you are in your daily living. Isn't that what we're about? And so Myrtle taught us to go into the stillness. And that means we're going to listen to God. You may not hear a still small voice, but the goal is to learn how to let all the thoughts that come in that try to distract you and disturb you, to let them float on by. And I always say it's like white puffy clouds. Because when I was little, I loved to lay down in the grass or the tall weeds and make little houses and forts. Did you ever do that? It was so fun. Because we had an acre of land, and I would lay there and just watch those clouds. And I love in Kona when we get white puffy clouds. You get them every other island all the time. But when we do, it's like, that's sort of like a message from God. I still love you, Deb. You can lay down and look at me. But I'm sure I'd get pecked to death by a chicken in the front yard. But, Lordy, I'll tell you, they're so aggressive. But, and we learn in the Bible that Matthew said, and he wrote this about Jesus, but when you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees in secret will reward you. And I want you to look at this on a level right here on earth. Your father or your mother or your sisters or your brothers, weren't they always spying on you to see what was happening? And didn't it bring them joy to hear what you might be saying? Most of the time. It's true. So if you look at your heavenly expression of God as your Father, because remember everything was written in the very masculine form, to know that no matter who is listening to you, they're loving you. And if we come from that place, we will be able to tackle whatever comes our way. And I have this wonderful book, it's called The Quest, and it's written many years ago, but it's a 52-week program that we did back then, and it was all about unity, and written by two wonderful teachers, husband and wife, Mary and Richard Jaffola. And in The Quest, it talks about the secret place of silence that Jesus told us to enter is not just a quiet room in your home or a beautiful strip of beach or anywhere that you might go to get solitude. Because I do that. We go out into nature to become quiet. It's more than that. It's an inner space, an internal and very personal place of total silence, which no one else can enter or disturb. And how beautiful is it when you see someone, when there's chaos all around, and they're able to be centered and quiet and peaceful and humble and come from a place of spirit. We all have that in us. And now we know that it's that perfect, unchanging part of us, which waits like a safe harbor. It's a friendly port, and it welcomes us to come into a place of peace, to de-stress. And it's in a sense, we connect ourselves to the God of our being. One simple way to look at being in the silence is try to remember how frustrating it can be when you try to communicate with someone who doesn't stop talking. Any of you have friends like that? We do. And so in those moments when they're chattering away and you can't get a word in edgewise, that's how God is with us. We go into that silence in that secret place and we're like, well, God, I really need help with this and I really need help with that. And there's a list of things I have to do today and I really need to get this over with. Isn't that what happens in our mind? So if you just visualize that God is in you, waiting for you to just be quiet, so that you can hear that voice and allow God to speak to you. Instead of being like the Energizer Bunny, because it never stops drumming. Because the batteries last forever, right? We last forever, a day at a time. So we remember in Unity we teach that prayer is talking to God, meditation is listening. Now I want you to think back, how many of you were taught how to swim by a parent or grandparent or a swim teacher? Yay! That's why we live in Hawaii, right? Well, I taught my kids and most of my grandchildren how to swim because my mom was an excellent swimmer and we were always in a pool somewhere. And then we finally had a house with a pool. It was heaven. I loved it every day. So a couple of weeks ago, my youngest son and I, he's my older grown son who's younger, and he and I were talking, and I said, do you ever remember what it was like to learn to swim? And he goes, Mom, I was 6 months old. Okay, let's get real here. You and your rememberings kind of fantasize and make them beautiful. And I said, but it was. So before we do that, I want to make sure everyone or every couple has a bubble. And I grab this and back up. Everybody have a little bubble machine? I mean, you're the machine, but little bubbles. Okay, because this is going to be the fun part of this whole lesson. All right, so when you're teaching a 6-month-old how to swim, Virginia needs one, Joe, right here. Sharon needs one. All right, keep your hand up so Joe can find you. All right, when I taught my kids how to swim, they were very little. I had to hold them lovingly because this is a big swimming pool of water. And what do you learn to do? And what do you teach them? Don't blow bubbles yet. Jamie. There's a kid in every one of us, and she has a toddler grandson. I get it. She needs a timeout, her husband says. That happens too, right? So picture this. When you're little, and you're your mom, and you have this child, you teach them first to take a deep breath. Stop fidgeting first. Take a deep breath, and you both go under, and you blow bubbles. Then you come back up for air. Does it work the first time? Not often. And the kids are like panicky, coughing, But what do we continue to do? We practice. And eventually those children are swimming across the pool, doing all these wonderful things, underwater, and happy as can be. That's the fruit of their activity. So when you're in this place of technology, of the world, and you're feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, or even you're in your car and you might be a little mad, you want to have your bubbles with you. Okay? And here's what you do. Everybody take their bubble. Open it up. So wherever you are at that moment, you're going to stop, take a deep breath, and blow bubbles. Now, if there's anyone blowing bubbles that's not smiling, I'm going to have you keep doing it. Isn't it great?
You can't blow bubbles.
You can't blow bubbles. And all these bubbles came from Patrick and Kayla's wedding. So they've been blasts all over the place. So how does it feel when you blow bubbles? That smile comes, and guess what? You're coming back up for air. And how simple is that? David, you didn't get bubbles.
I'm enjoying it.
We want you to do it. And Ingrid too. This is a participation, group participation. You know how I am. Next thing I'll do, I'll have you start praying out loud, David. Okay, in unison. Stop where you are. Take a deep breath. Blow bubbles. And then come up for more air. How does it feel? Silly? Happy? If David's bubble's not working. Because that's what happens sometimes, right? We have to keep practicing the little task. So there's 4 steps to happiness. Stop, take a breath, blow bubbles, and come up for more air. Oh my gosh, Larry. Oh my gosh. I used to go to Lawrence Welk with my in-laws and my grandkids. But you walk in, there's bubbles everywhere. That's right. So, how do you guys like that exercise? It's kind of fun, yeah? Because we want to remember simple ways of truth. And how, like I keep these bubbles on the dashboard of my car. Because there's things that happen when I'm driving. And instead of saying, oh, that's just a tourist. Because we do say that, right? We who live here say, oh, it's got to be a tourist. Then you see their out-of-state license plate, and they're tourists who are coming permanent, just like we were at one time. So we have to remember when we're throwing judgment out, it's all about us. So we want to learn how to be calm in the midst of whatever's going on. And what a better way, I'm going to try this week, and I want you all to do that. Have the bubbles in your car, and just start blowing bubbles when you're at a stoplight. See what happens. Oh, Sharon would get into a wreck, so we don't want her to do that. But if you can, and it's safe, because we know you can't meditate in your car either, because that would cause catastrophe. But we want to keep our lives simple and make them work simply. And that's how we do it. So in these moments when you feel like you're not techno-savvy, you just blow bubbles at the instructions that come with the item. Because a lot of times for me, they're not written clearly so I can understand them. But that's probably not true when a 9-year-old can say, Grandma, just do this. Because that's how simple it is. So I want you to blow bubbles all week. Take a moment, be still. Because you're going to hear that voice. And it's always telling you what to do. Thank you, everyone. That was fun. And today is a very special day as well. Because for the last 2 Saturdays, I've been hanging out with people who want to join our church. And we've been having a lot of fun. And so I'm going to ask them to come up now. And Patrick, I might ask for your help on this. Because we have our Kristen. You can come over on this side in the front, if you would, everyone. Elena, there we go. Oh, it's tied together. There you go. Hold that, and I'll take this one. Dondi, Rod, and these two are husband and wife. Yay! Isn't that wonderful? And they're from Canada, so they're one of you members of our ministry, even though they're here part-time. We're very blessed. Okay, so I warned them already that they were going to have to say something to you all, which is why they wanted to join the church. And everyone voted Dondi to go first. And so we want you to introduce yourself and why you want to join Unity. And you can use the mic.
Of course, they voted me. Anyway, I'm Dondi Nueva. I've been going to Unity churches since 2003. And I thought it was about time. But truthfully, I think the reason I want to become a member of the church is because I want to be of service and be able to help whatever way I can. And I truly feel very blessed to be with a group like this here, because I feel a lot of love and a lot of support whenever you need it. And so I think it's just a super great group of people here that come to this church, and makes me feel very at home.
Thanks, Gandhi. And here's your certificate and your membership card. Yay! Okay, Kristen.
My name is Kristen. I've been going to Unity, or coming to Unity, in California for decades. And I also went to other churches too. When I arrived on island last year, I saw the Unity sign, and I started coming here and just fell in love. Rev Deb's message, the music, and of course, the congregation. I had been looking for a spiritual community, and I certainly found it. And the reason why I wanted to become a member of the church was I wanted to make a deeper commitment, both to my own spiritual growth, but also to make a commitment to you and to be of more service, and what else can I give? And so that's why I want to become a member. Thank you.
My name is Delana, and I am a Canadian, so I hope you can understand me. Anyhow, Rod and I have gone to a lot of churches on the Big Island since moving here part-time, and we do have a home church at home, but when we came in here, there's the words of the song, "Something Good is Happening." You do get that feeling. What I personally like about it is the inclusiveness, the acceptance of everybody regardless. There's not a lot of churches like that. And so we feel at home, well, I'm not speaking for Rod, I feel at home here. I wanted to be a member because I think this is a very special church family. And in our lifetime as a military family, we've had a lot of ministers, some very good, some not so. And Rev Deb is so humble and sincere. And so that was a very big welcome for us.
Thank you.
My name is Rod Sword, and no matter what I say, after I'm driving home, I'll think of all the things that I really wish I had said. I think I can best summarize it by saying, as Delana did so well, been in a lot of churches in 23 moves. We've been members of some, we've attended others. When I came here, I looked around, and I want what you have. I just felt right. The inclusiveness that Delana said means a tremendous amount to us. And the way in which you met us from the very beginning was very heartwarming. So we would like to share and do our part while we're here. This is our second home. We'll do our best. We're glad to be here.
Thank you. Isn't that wonderful? So all of you are loving and supporting them because we're all taking our next step in our spiritual growth together. And what a blessing to have them be part of this Unity community and loving us. And the best thing, I think, is that when they walked through those doors, they felt something. And it's all of you, all of us, bringing that spirit of love and truth in a little corner of our world here on the Big Island. And we've moved a bunch of times too. But everyone finds us, and we get to share our spirit. And your spirit, our spirit together, is raising the consciousness of this planet, one person at a time. So I invite you at the refreshment table, get to know them, give them your aloha, because they're going to be going back to Canada, but they'll be back in January. And we're just blessed. Kristen's been cleaning the sanctuary. Now Sandy's doing it.
Thank you.
And Dondi, you're going to be hearing him more on his ukulele and his voice. So everyone has their gifts and talents, and we see it unfolding as you are. We're so blessed. Thank you, everyone.